And worldwide, some 39,000 underage girls are forced into marriage every day. The situation has led to the formation of various international campaigns against child marriages, which may be paying dividends. I-24 News correspondent Shani Nakhshoni has the story.
On Wednesday, Zimbabwe's top court outlawed marriage for anyone under the age of 18. The Constitutional Court in Harare issued a decision after a case was brought by two women who suffered poverty and lack of education after being forced into child marriages.
Child marriage has been robbing girls of their education, of their childhood, and of any economic opportunities that will accrue if at all they spend their time in school. And the health complications that come with child marriage are quite dire.
Just 1 month ago, a first conference on ending child marriage in Africa was held in Lusaka, Zambia, by the African Union, which estimates that about 14 million underage girls are married on the continent each year, almost all of them forced by their parents. But laws and conferences are not enough. In Mozambique, for example, almost half of all girls are married in their teens, despite a law banning it.
Our overall aim as members of the African Union is to ensure that the scourge of child marriage is eradicated totally on our countries.
The problem is not just an African one. Child marriages are also common in South Asia, East Asia and the Pacific, Latin America and the Caribbean, and in Eastern Europe. Worldwide, 39,000 underage girls are getting married every day. A year ago, Plan, a Norwegian human rights organization, launched a campaign called Stop the Wedding, whose purpose was to raise awareness of minors' marriages. The organization created a blog of a Norwegian 12-year-old girl in which she described her wedding preparations to a 37-year-old man.
My name is Tia and I'm 12 years old, and in about a month I'm getting married.
Politicians and celebrities like Zooey Deschanel and Ashton Kutcher shared the blog and the wedding video on social media, helping it reach 1 billion people.
Today I went with Mom and Guy to try wedding rings. Mom and me were supposed to go to the wedding dress shop today. I tried on about 20 dresses. When I get married to Guy, does that mean we have to do it?
The contrast between the exciting activities of planning a wedding and the bride's age, as well as her Western look, made many relate to the cause and exposed the indifference of Western society towards the rest of the world. As a result of the campaign's success, the Norwegian government took the responsibility for fighting child marriage.
Well, for more on this story, I'm joined by I-24 News correspondent Shani Nakhshoni. Good evening, Shani.
Good evening, Ayman.
Shani, we know that despite this particular move to make child marriages illegal, the situation worldwide is far from being mended.
Yes, because the numbers is amazing. Actually, by the end of this decade, if nothing is done, if other countries wouldn't outlaw children marriage, so we're going to get to the situation where 142 million girls will be married as children. And this is a very, very bad situation to be in, because those girls who are married as children, they are deprived of education, and they probably will have children in a very young age. Therefore, their health will be in not a very good condition. There are a lot of consequences to those children marriages. It's
both social and health consequences to these terrible, terrible numbers. And Shani, you know what struck me about your story was the Norwegian campaign,
yes,
and that it took a Norwegian girl to make so many people aware of what's been going on for years in countries we don't necessarily cover as much.
Yes, and you see politicians all over the world writing about it on social media, but you don't hear about every other girl from the 39,000 a day that are getting married. You don't see posts about an Indian girl or an African girl or a Latin girl. And I think it has something to do with us being very caught up in our own society and our own costumes, and we're not used to it. So when we see a Norwegian girl and we're not used to it, it seems bizarre, it seems funny, and we want to do something about it. But nowadays, especially, I don't know why, but for me, it had something to do with the refugee crisis and the clash of cultures, and many people coming from Africa and the Middle East to Europe. And I think that those problems are the problems of the entire world. It's not longer the problem of that country over there or that country over there.
Well, you know, Shanine, the advocates of child marriages would say that we are imposing Western values on people who are not Westerners.
Yes, but I do think that the whole world is changing, and what happens when children are getting married is it's causing very bad things to the society in which they are getting married in. The society stays very poor, very not.
Yes.
So it's for
Human values,
yes,
not Western values.
Exactly.
Shanine Khshoni, thank you very much for this story.